ESPN exposes Belichick and the Patriots for being the cheatingest cheaters ever. ESPN just dropped a bombshell alleging the Patriots' Spygate scandal was bigger than anyone ever imagined, and Goodell tried to cover it up. Citing interviews with 90 sources, ESPN says Coach Belichick videotaped opposing team signals from 40 different games, from 2000 through 2007. Belichick and Ernie Adams developed a covert videotaping system and secret library. Files were created for opponents, and during games, undercover videographers would tape over their team logos and wear fake Patriots TV or Kraft Productions credentials. The Patriots also got creative with their cheating. During pregame warm-ups, Pats employees would sneak into visiting locker rooms and steal play sheets, or fake ones. The Pats would also break into visiting teams' hotels for playbooks and scouting reports. Spygate finally blew up in Belichick's face with the Jets in 2007. But when the NFL investigators found Belichick's secret stash of videotapes and detailed notes, Goodell ordered the tapes to be destroyed and the notes shredded. Goodell apparently didn't want people to know the Patriots won Super Bowls by cheating. He tried to make up for Spygate with Deflategate, but we all know how that turned out. So where do Goodell and Belichick go from here?
Like this video? Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Facebook, Google+, and Twitter.
There he is, Patriots quarterback Tom Brady arriving in Foxborough, about 6 hours before kickoff, 6:40 Eastern. And remember this, it was the same place the Tuck heard round the world, the 2001 divisional playoff game. And earlier this week, Ray Lewis talked about Des Bryant and veered into a discussion about the Tuck rule.
The only reason we know who Tom Brady is because of a Tuck rule. There's no such thing as a Tuck rule. If the ball is in your hand and I knock it out your hand, that's a freaking fumble. But guess what we created? We created a freaking Tuck rule. That's a fumble. Charles Wilson made that man clearly fumble the ball, and they named it a Tuck rule, something that we've never heard in today's game. So now you got to ask yourself, when did the legacy really start?
In frozen Foxborough, the Raiders battered Tom Brady. They led by 3. A trip to the AFC Championship game was just over 2 minutes away.
But it didn't end the way it should have ended. Yeah, I'm coming off the left side. I see Brady drop back, getting ready to launch the ball. There's my opportunity.
Woodson showing blitz. Here he is bearing down on Brady, calls the fumble. Beacon dives on the ball. The Raiders have the ball. Charles Woodson came on a corner blitz and he rocked his former Michigan teammate.
Game over. Or so we thought.
The play is going to be reviewed, though, Greg.
Why? He does bring it forward, but that's not to pass the ball.
He pumped it. He was pulling the ball back.
So the more time went on, the more everybody on the sidelines like, I think we're about to get screwed.
The quarterback's arm was going forward, and it's an ankle.
Oh, man, what a call that is.
That's the worst call in the history of all sports. All the air was let out of the Oakland Raiders. After that happened, we never recovered.
It's a sudden death for the Raiders season as they are beaten here on this dark, freezing night in Foxborough.
Clearly a fumble. You know, the guy was going to throw the ball. He pumped it, brought it back down, and then I hit him, the ball came out. Clearly a fumble.
So you totally disagree with the fact it was overturned?
Damn right I disagree. Tom owes me. But you know what? Me and Tom have never talked about that play. And so I imagine maybe sometime, maybe I'll just sit down with him in a lonely bar somewhere, just me and him, and I'll just ask him point blank, Tom, just tell me. If you could just tell everybody in the world what it was, what was it? I know what he would say.
Jake Silver Complex News. We're literally only one game into the 2015 NFL season, and already the New England Patriots have been accused of cheating. Thursday night's season opener captured the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Foxborough, Massachusetts to face off against Teflon Tom and the Patriots. The Steelers lost to the Pats 21-28. Here's the thing though. For the first half of the game, the Steelers had to deal with faulty headsets. Steelers coach Mike Tomlin describes the issue.
Mike, what exactly happened? You just didn't have any communication?
We were listening to the Patriots radio broadcast for the majority of the first half on our headsets.
Prior to that clip, Tomlin claimed that this is a regular occurrence when playing at New England's Gillette Stadium.
That's always the case.
Here?
Yes.
Well, you're saying that every time you play here, you have radio.
I said what I said.
The Steelers took it a step further, posting the following to their website. This is the kind of stuff that happens to the visiting team in Gillette Stadium all the time. From the start of the game through the opening 14 minutes of the first quarter, the Steelers coaches' headsets were receiving the Patriots radio network broadcast of the game. The broadcast was so loud that the Steelers coaches were unable to communicate, and the NFL rules that if one team's headsets are not working, the other team is supposed to be forced to take their headsets off. It's what the NFL calls the equity rule. Strangely enough, whenever an NFL representative proceeded to the New England sideline to shut down their headsets, the Steelers' headsets cleared. Then as the representative walked away from the New England sideline, the Steelers' headsets again started to receive the Patriots game broadcast. As you can see, in addition to their frustration with the Patriots, the Steelers also called out the NFL for not enforcing their equity rule. The NFL has since released a statement on the headset incident. The coaches' communications equipment, including the headsets, is provided by the NFL for both clubs' use on game day. The home team is responsible for the installation and maintenance of that equipment. Every team's game day communications personnel are required to work with the NFL communication consultants to ensure wireless equipment is free and clear of interference and address any problems. Technological and stadium infrastructure issues of this type happen at many stadiums around the league. Whenever there are issues of this nature, we do a thorough review. So I guess there's sort of another open case against the Pats. I say another because over the years, the Patriots organization has been accused of several controversies when it comes to securing unsanctioned competitive advantages. Cheating. There have been accusations of them stealing play sheets, Spygate, in which they were accused of taping signals, the recent Deflategate, and now Headsetgate. Honestly, we should stop tacking gate onto the end of every word, but when it comes to the Patriots and their many alleged violations, it just makes it easier to keep track of them all. As always, we'll continue to report on this story and others throughout the day. For Complex News, I'm Jinx.
Always first, always best.
Your stories,
your characters, your culture.
Subscribe to Complex
on YouTube today.
The New England Patriots and a behind-the-scenes look are not things you typically hear in the same sentence. But NFL Films is pulling back the curtain and giving fans a behind-the-scenes look at life under Bill Belichick. The NFL special titled Do Your Job, Bill Belichick and the 2014 Patriots highlights the role of Bill Belichick and his assistant coaches in the team's championship run and some of the most memorable plays of the season. The show obviously touches on Malcolm Butler's game-saving Super Bowl interception, but also includes the Pats' infamous ineligible receiver formation used in the divisional round playoff game against the Baltimore Ravens. Do Your Job reveals that the Pats named the formations Baltimore and Raven. Baltimore was the formation when running back Shane Green lined up in the slot ineligible, and Raven was used when tight end Michael Humanawananui lined up ineligible at offensive tackle. Patriots offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels said they purposely waited till the second half to use the formation so the Ravens couldn't talk about it during halftime. Apparently, the Baltimore Ravens still aren't over the whole ineligible receiver thing. The Ravens, who were confused by the Patriots' ineligible receiver play over a year ago, have proposed a rule change which would force receivers declared ineligible to wear vests, idea being no more confusion. The incident or incidents which sparked the request took place during the 2015 AFC Championship game and involved two plays where the Patriots lined up running back Shane Green in the slot but declared him ineligible. The Patriots won that game with 35-31, and I think it's about time to get over that.
On ball preparation now. The other thing, too, which a lot of fans didn't know, is that the teams don't use the same balls. The Patriots bring 12. They're inspected before the game. The Colts bring 12. They're inspected before the game. Then they are turned over to the ball boys of the respective teams. And when a ref asks for a new ball, one is thrown in. Again, 11 of the 12 balls that the Patriots supplied on Sunday, according to several sources, it's been confirmed now, were about 15% underinflated. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you that football, Mark. You threw a football for a living.
Yep.
Feel it, touch it, squeeze it. Now take this one. Bus, same thing. We'll pass them all the way around, and then I'll give them to Lewis.
Wow.
I want you to feel the footballs, and then we're going to talk about the differences between the two. Bus tucks it. I like how he tucks it high and tight. And Lewis, there you go. Feel that.
Sure.
And we'll start with you, Mark.
Sure.
What jumps out right away? What's the biggest difference?
Well, there's a huge difference between those two footballs. You say there's only 2 pounds of 2 pounds of pressure different. Listen, that 10 pounds of pressure, this ball right here, this is a huge advantage for a quarterback if he gets an opportunity to throw a ball like this because of the grip. Because of the grip. In cold, wet conditions, much like the AFC Championship game, when you have a tough time as a quarterback gripping the ball, or for receivers too, they want to be able to catch it. When you have a ball like this, or if you can have a ball like this, you can grip it, and because you can grip it, you can throw it further and with more ease, without a doubt. Listen, I could throw this ball 10 yards further than I can throw that football.
No kidding.
Simply because I can get more hand on the ball, I can squeeze it a little bit, I can grip it, I can hold it a little bit firmer. It makes a huge difference. It is a huge advantage if you get a ball that is deflated, much like this one.
As a running back, Bus, and also a receiver out of the backfield, what difference does it make for you handling the ball?
Well, for me, it's huge because now I can control it a lot better. So when it's in my grips here, now I'm actually squeezing it. You can see my fingers go into the ball. And when I can do that, then when I take those hits, I can control this football a lot better.
Less likely to fumble,
Less likely to fumble. And then if I'm receiving the ball, you know, when you can squeeze it, you can literally see that. If I can catch the ball,
I don't know if we can get a close-up of that. Do that again. If you
look how easy that is.
Now I'm going to give you the other football.
And then
let's see.
This one is totally different. It's totally different.
There is some
it's a little
not nearly as much.
Nowhere near as much.
Okay, Lewis, what do you make? What advantages would a team have from using the underinflated?
Well, I mean, these are two offensive guys who can tell you right away. I mean, you're going to be able to, when it's cold, your hand doesn't work quite as well. You can't grip as hard as you normally would. And so, of course, you're going to have a lot more control. Look, ball placement and accuracy is what those guys live by as quarterbacks. And as a receiver, look, if you had that ball that was only 10 pounds per square inch, I mean, you could one-handed snag that ball all over the place because you can get as Bus just showed you can get your hands and you grab it and you squeeze it. It's not going to pop out of your hand like something hard would. Sure. Your fingers are kind of like melting into it.
And here's a clear view at how the NFL cheats for the Boston Patriots, New England, if you want to call them that. The blue line is the line of scrimmage. Tom Brady is not going to get the ball past the line of scrimmage. There's the ball right there. Should have been intentional grounding. D Ford made a great effort, but he won't get a sack. Tom Brady will have a clean sheet, no sacks. But it's clear that this was intentional grounding, and the commentators just laugh it off. What? You say what?
There was no intentional grounding as the quarterback got the ball back. Third down. That might be worth a challenge.
0 sacks.
0 sacks.
I'm surprised they didn't get together and pick it up. That's how bad it was. I mean, we'll show it here on the play. Here, Victor's got it if you're watching on Yes. Here you have it right here. You got McFadden and Josh Boyd down the sideline. Here you go. You got that's regular incidental contact between receiver and guy. There. Where is the pass interference on that play? He doesn't even get near him.
Throws the flag once he sees the ball hit the ground.
Substantial,
oh my God, this league is a joke.
Substantial contact between the
guys that they didn't. You'd expect some of these guys to be.
It looks like. Watch. Patriots are going to cheat again. They have 2 timeouts here with 2:46 left. Clock stops. With 2:36 left. You heard the announcer say they have a pair of timeouts left. Timeout.
All right, thank you, Tom. And immediately following the OT right here on Fox, it's game 2 just down the road from Fenway Park. Big Poppy getting all set, hitting 294 with 2 home runs.
There's no reason for the clock to have stopped other than a timeout. No.
Pretty telling, though, too, Tom.
I'm going to fast forward to the next play.
Felt that his
See? Change back to 2. I went too fast. They have 1. Yet, all of a sudden, they get 2. And they use both those timeouts. Once here. Well, that's a Saints timeout.
To win a football game, but I don't. They had left, and still with the 2-minute warning. Of course, your defense would have had to make a key stop and get off the field, but they didn't do that.
Timeout.
Here as well. Well, they're going to call a timeout.
3 seconds take.
3 seconds.
And they get 1 left. When's the next time they use it? After Tom Brady throws the interception.
It's especially difficult as we talked about coming into this game when you see Rob
Timeout. 3rd and final timeout. How is that possible? How did they get 3?
Only for him not to be suited up on game day. So this is a frustrating loss.
Okay, you guys, I hope you guys are, well, you probably are calling me a sore loser. I don't care. I don't think I'm a sore loser. I'm proud of the Chiefs and what they did this year, and I was not upset when the Chiefs turned around and lost those 5 games at the beginning of the year. But this is another example. Today is January the 16th, and I just finished watching the game. And everybody knows if you get on YouTube, you will see that every time one of the Patriots players pump up their hands or one of Tom Brady pump up his hands when they're playing at home. This only happens when they're playing at home. Then the play clock will reset itself in their favor. This is an example. Now, I've paused it. This is the 4th quarter. I'm going to hit play and watch what happens. There's 17 seconds left before they have to play, before they will get penalized for delay of game. Watch what happens. 15, they pumping up their hands. The clock just reset itself to 25. Okay, for those who missed it, Dee Dee will replay this for you again. 15, 14, back to 25. Now you tell me that's not cheating.
Look at the clock right there. 16 seconds on the clock. Play clock. Let's mash play. 15 seconds. Oh my, it went back up to 25 seconds. Let's try this again. 17, 16. He pumps his hand. That was Brady. It went back up to 25 seconds. Let's try it again.
That might be worth a challenge. Oh, yeah. Quarterback got the ball back and went to third down. That might be worth a challenge. 0 sacks, 4 hurries, 2 knockdowns.
All right, so this is the Steelers-Patriots game last night. As you see, it's the 4th quarter. The Patriots had the ball. Just want you to keep an eye on the time clock here. Not the actual game clock, but the play clock. I believe it's at 18 right now. Just watch it.
Because I cannot believe that you guys got me sucked back into those emotions. But we saw just how raw it was from Tom Brady. And then he sort of just took a
jumps back up to 25. All right, let's see. It was at 10. Let's watch it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
2, 1. Huh. Anybody else would have got a flag right there. Wonder why they didn't get a flag. 50 seconds, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. They got a complete minute in between plays. The play clock reset at 10 and went back to 25.
Look, everybody pay attention to that time clock. Oh, cheating. And they're cheating on live TV. Old Tom Brady.
Tom Brady saw number 31. Watch the holder really closely. He pumps his arms in the air, just like they said a couple games ago. Reset the clock. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 25. Reset. 3, 2, 1. Oh! What? How did they have more time? Pump it back 5 yards.
Play clock down to 10. Oh, holy oh, what's that? What was oh, the Patriots must be playing.
Announces that Fleming is eligible on that line as a receiver. Brady having no problem with the rain-soaked conditions. 6 for 6 in this quarter.
There are 2 fouls on the play.
Duas faltas na jogada.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 57, defense. That foul occurred after the touchdown.
Falta contra o Baltimore depois do touchdown.
Following that, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 57, defense, throwing the official's flag into the stand.
Duas faltas contra o mesmo jogador.
Ele pegou a flanela e jogou na arquibancada.
É. E o Scott quer partir para cima do juiz. Cometeu 2 faltas na jogada anterior e continua incontrolável aí o Scott. Olha só, pegou a bandeirinha e... É isso. Olha esse cara, meu. Que sem noção.
Sem noção. Nossa, Bart Scott, pelo amor de Deus.
The NFL kicks off a new season tomorrow night, facing brand new allegations of cheating by the New England Patriots. ESPN claims the team's so-called Spygate scandal was far more extensive than originally reported, and it directly affected how NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell responded to charges the Patriots deliberately deflated game balls. Don Dahler is here with the allegations that Goodell and the Patriots are strongly denying. Don, good morning.
Good morning. The bombshell report by ESPN's Outside the Lines alleges Deflategate and Spygate were linked, and Roger Goodell was the man in the middle. One unnamed team owner told ESPN the stiff punishment Goodell imposed for Deflategate was, quote, a makeup call. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell denies he imposed harsh penalties on the Patriots as retribution for the Spygate investigation in 2007. Speaking for the first time since a judge threw out Tom Brady's Deflategate penalties last week, Goodell called in to ESPN Radio's Mike and Mike show.
I'm not aware of any connection between the Spygate procedures and the procedures we went through here.
According to the ESPN investigation, the Patriots spied on opposing teams in at least 40 games from 2000 to 2007, videotaping the signals of opposing coaches to gain an on-field advantage. That's far more widespread than the league's findings, which stated the Patriots had been involved in spying on a few games during the 2007 season only. In a statement Tuesday, the Patriots fired back, calling ESPN's report, quote, Unfounded, unwarranted, and quite frankly, unbelievable allegations. Jason La Canfora is with CBS Sports NFL Insider.
There's been a lot of suspicion for a long time, and that hasn't gone away, despite the chasm in time between when Spygate was mitigated and handled and when these Deflategate allegations first appeared.
Under the current collective bargaining agreement, Goodell imposes punishments and presides over appeals. But over the last year, he's watched his penalties overturned one after the next, including the ones he handed down on Ray Rice, Adrian Peterson, Greg Hardy, and now Tom Brady. Yesterday, Goodell expressed his frustration.
I am very open to changing my role in that. It's become extremely time-consuming. I have to be focused on a variety of other issues, and that's what I've discussed with many of the owners over the last couple of years.
There's a strong sentiment within the league that there needs to be more of an outside appeals process and less of Roger Goodell being so intimately involved with the details of these cases.
The season kicks off on Thursday night when the Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Patriots at Gillette Stadium in Massachusetts. Goodell, who is appealing that Brady decision, says he has decided he will not attend the game because he doesn't want to be, quote, a distraction. Gail.
All right. Thank you, Don.
Tom Brady's 4-game suspension for Deflategate has been nullified, but the controversy still cost New England a $1 million fine and 2 draft picks. The NFL never found evidence that balls from last season's AFC Championship game were tampered with, but the league still levied a harsh penalty to Patriots owner Robert Kraft.
I was wrong to put my faith in the league.
Yet 8 years ago, this was not the case. ESPN, the magazine, reports the NFL gave Kraft a huge break in the Spygate videotaping scandal, and league officials even helped destroy the evidence. This never sat well with other owners, and as years passed and pressure mounted, Commissioner Roger Goodell needed a heavy-handed response to Deflategate. Part of that pressure came from teams feeling cheated out of wins, including the Eagles. According to the ESPN report, some inside the Birds organization could not understand how the Pats seemed completely prepared for a rarely used dime defense the Birds used in Super Bowl 39 when New England scored 3 touchdowns in a span of 4 drives. The Eagles suspected that either practices were filmed or a playbook was stolen, and that remains the case today.
They were barely 3 points better than we were. Who knows, with the advantage that it appears they had going into that game, we should have a trophy. We should have our Lombardi trophy right here in Philadelphia, and we should have our rightful place in history as one of the champions of that game for 49 years. So it's a little disheartening, but like I tell people when I'm asked about that, or would you want the title now? No, you know why? Because I don't get the confetti, I don't get to enjoy the confetti, and I certainly don't get to enjoy the parade down Broad Street like we all want for that Super Bowl trophy. So they cheated to get it, let them have it, but deep in the back of my mind, I know that we were a better team.
ESPN revealed that the Patriots videotaped more than 40 games from 2000 to 2007, far more than Bill Belichick or Roger Goodell admitted. Pennsylvania's senior senator, the late Arlen Specter, was troubled by the league's investigation into Spygate and its insistence the integrity of the game was not compromised. Specter, who was a rabid Eagles fan, met with the commissioner in 2008, but felt he was being stonewalled. He then called for Congress to look into the matter and put all parties under oath, but that investigation never happened. Nearly 1 decade later, the commissioner's days of dispensing justice may soon be over. With the Brady penalty overturned, Goodell's now 0-5 on appeals of his discipline, and there's now a strong movement to change the system so the commissioner no longer holds the title of judge, jury, and executioner. Michael Barkan, Comcast Sportsnet.
ESPN's report also mentioned rumors that the Patriots video recorded the Rams walkthrough prior to New England's win in Super Bowl 36, but those claims were not proven. Today, the Patriots denied they have ever recorded another team's practice or walkthrough. The team statement adds it's, quote, disappointing that some choose to believe in myths, conjecture, and rumors rather than giving credit for the team's success to Coach Belichick, his staff, and the players.
From pigskin. I'm sure the Patriots, as they get as close to the line as they can without trying to cross over.
I think the perception is the reality.
I mean, it is what it is. You know, their resume speaks for itself.
For Complex News, I'm Sean Evans, and in the lead-up to Super Bowl 49, players will be prodded, badgered, and prompted by the media. After all, this bulletin board material doesn't just post itself. But one man who doesn't need much in the way of provocation is the typically candid Richard Sherman, who was asked on Sunday about New England's reputation as a team that occasionally sidesteps the rulebook, referencing allegations that the Patriots used underinflated footballs in their AFC title win against Indianapolis.
And will they be punished? Probably not. You know, not as long as Robert Kraft and Roger Goodell are still taking pictures at their respective homes. You know, I think it was just at Kraft's house last week before the AFC Championship. You know, you talk about conflict of interest. But you know, as long as that happens, it won't affect them at all, and nothing will stop them.
The picture Sherman's referencing comes from a party Patriots owner Robert Kraft threw for the AFC Championship, which was later posted on the team's official Twitter account. And while it's easy to dismiss this picture as casual hobnobbing between coworkers, GQ published a profile on Goodell this week that describes Kraft as one of the NFL commissioner's closest confidants, detailing how the Patriots owner helped orchestrate Goodell's interview with CBS News at the height of the Ray Rice scandal.
We didn't get this right. That's my responsibility, and I'm accountable for that.
In 2007, Goodell ordered Bill Belichick to pay an NFL maximum fine of $500,000 for spying on defensive signals. He also docked the team an additional $250,000. A decision over Deflategate isn't expected to be reached until after the Super Bowl. That's the news for now, but for more NFL coverage, keep it locked right here to Complex.
I go to Jinx for all my news. I really do.
You want to smell my shoe?
No thanks.
Okay.
They see me take one jump shot, and they know that I have no game.
Pause. Pause.
Kanye, I love you. I just wanted you to know.
It's one thing to see what's on like mainstream news, and then it was something else to see somebody that speaks our language.
Now I'm going to ask you the question that you got to be thinking, okay? You played against this team in Super Bowl 39. Yeah. You played against this quarterback. You played against this coach. You played against this culture that we now know has been less than honest in many respects. Do you feel like you lost that game on the up and up, or do you think you were cheated?
You know, last night I went to sleep thinking this very question. I'm like, now I wonder if this didn't happen and that didn't happen, would we have won? And as a player, you never really want to make excuses. You never want to say it's because of this that we lost. And you just want to believe, in my opinion, that it was the things that we can control. We can control holding on to the ball. We can control executing our game plan properly. And you never really want to say it's what the other team did that took away the good thing that you're able to do. What I know is that most NFL games are decided by 3 or less points. And so if you have a little bit of an advantage, you add that to 3 interceptions, not playing great defense, T.O. coming off a broken leg, that may equal up to 3 points that we lost by. And so you start to ask that question more and more. And, you know, as a player, I still have to stand by what I feel. I feel that if we didn't make some of the mistakes that we made in the game, we wouldn't have lost the game. So it wasn't necessarily that Tom Brady, you know, threw the ball all over the place because he had a deflated ball, or Bill Belichick knew our plays. I think if we would have made better decisions with some of our play calls, with some of our plays and how we executed those plays, we would have won the game. Now, that's the right thing to say. But the truth is that I'm still pissed off about that. And so if they cheated, then I want my ring and I want my trophy. But, you know, we're not going to go back in time, but, you know.
Like touche.
In his first season, Suggs flourished with 12 sacks, winning the 2003 Defensive Rookie of the Year. By 2007, he was a 2-time Pro Bowler.
Who pisses you off the most in the NFL?
New England. Yeah, it just seemed like, you know.
New England.
Yeah. It just seemed like it's a lot of suspicious stuff going on with them.
Suspicious how?
Okay. You get caught videotaping. You get fined $500,000. Now another team
is accused of bounties. You lynched the whole team. That, like, one guy recording for the Super Bowl and putting bounty on legal hits, they both kind of frown upon, but which one's worse? Like, this is the Super Bowl we talking about here.
What do you think of Tom Brady?
I don't think that's appropriate for camera. I don't like him. He don't like me. I don't like his hair. I don't know. I don't like his smug attitude. But then again, he probably don't like my ass attitude. So everybody just seemed to worship the guy so much. Not me though.
If I'm a New England fan, I'm sitting here thinking.
Yeah, they know they hate Suggs. They hate Suggs and I hate them. And
why are you worried about us?
Let me tell y'all where it started. Y'all remember in 2009, I like fell by his leg, and he pointed to his leg at the ref.
15 yards and a first down, Terrell Suggs.
We're holding the ball, we're unprotected. I mean, you're sitting there defenseless, so, they got to stay away from me. They deserve to get flags.
We ended up losing that game by like 2 or 3 points, so it was huge. Y'all haven't noticed that, look at Carson Palmer blew his knee out. There was no rule change. Look at all the quarterbacks that blew their knee getting hit in the knee. And then one guy got hit in the knee. And the whole rule changed. So I guess those other quarterbacks' knees don't count.
What are you saying about the way the league treats Tom Brady?
What am I saying? I mean, am I saying anything? I've given facts of things that's happened. I could just be paranoid.
Ball, but here's the controversial play that'll be talked about this week. Roughing the passer call on Terrell Suggs. Here's Ray Lewis after the game. Play that'll be talked about this week. Roughing the passer call on Terrell Suggs. Here's Ray Lewis after the game. Controversial play that'll be talked about this week. Roughing the passer call on Terrell Suggs. Here's Ray Lewis after the game.
It's embarrassing to let a defensive player play his heart out, do everything he can, and you call something like that. Wow. Then you look at the replay and it's barely a touch. He's a man. They can be hit just like us. That's it. It's not hard.
Ray Lewis, right to be angry there, Rodney?
Horrible call. You can't make this call. And Tom Brady, if you're listening, take off the skirt and put on some slacks. Toughen up.
Wow. I might throw a flag on that one.
I didn't alter the ball in any way. I have no knowledge of anything. I have no knowledge of any wrongdoing of any.
Nobody did anything wrong.
Yeah, I'm very comfortable saying that. I'm very comfortable saying that nobody did it. As far as I know, I don't know everything. I also understand that I, was in a locker room preparing for a game for 5 hours. I don't know what happened over the course of the process with the footballs, because I would never do anything outside of the rules of play. I would never, have someone do something that I thought was outside of the fair rules. I was very shocked to hear it, so I almost laughed it off, thinking it wasn't, that was more sour grapes than anything. And then it ended up, it ends up being a very serious thing.
Then he was asked point blank if he was a cheater.
I don't believe so. I mean, I feel like I've always played within the rules. I would never do anything to break the rules. I believe in fair play, and I respect the league and, everything that they're doing to try to create a very competitive playing field for all the NFL teams.
It was one of the biggest stories in sports. The New England Patriots caught videotaping a rival team's coaches as they sent signals to their players. A former team employee said this week the Pats had been doing it for years. Tonight, Coach Bill Belichick responds for the first time in an exclusive interview with Armin Katayan.
In the latest episode of the NFL Spygate, a defiant Bill Belichick decided to break his silence today to challenge the charges and motives of former Patriots video operator Matt Walsh.
There was no deception.
It was Walsh who shot video during Belichick's first 2 seasons in New England, 2000 and 2001. He went public this week, calling the coach arrogant. Walsh claims Belichick's contention that he just misinterpreted the rules was false, and that the taping was actually a deliberate, illicit scheme by the Patriots to cheat their way to victory. Today, in an exclusive interview with CBS News, Belichick fired back at Walsh.
I don't know what the agenda is. Again, he was fired here for poor job performance. There's not a lot of credibility. He's tried to, make it seem like we were buddies and belonged to the same book club, and all that is really a long, long stretch.
Belichick says Walsh was in no position to know.
For him to talk about game planning and strategy and play calling and how he advised coordinators it's embarrassing. It's absurd. I mean, he didn't have any knowledge of football. He was our third video assistant.
During Walsh's entire time with the team, Belichick said he operated under the belief that the NFL's Bible, its constitution and bylaws, allowed taping as long as it wasn't used to aid a team during the playing of a game. He says Walsh was instructed to shoot the game, including hand signals, in plain sight, wearing Patriots gear. And he provided the video to the league and CBS News as evidence.
Why would Matt Walsh say that he was told by his superiors to avoid detection, to not wear Patriots clothing on the sidelines, and to lie if he was asked about what he was shooting?
I never told anybody to tell him that. All I can tell you is what the facts are. You look at the tape, you see him filming the game, you tell me how discreet it is.
Belichick acknowledged when the rule was clarified by the league in September 2006, outlawing videotaping of any type during a game, he stepped over the line.
But, Bill, you had gotten that memo. I mean, you couldn't be any more clearer than 2006.
I made a mistake. I was wrong. I was wrong.
In the end, Spygate will not likely be remembered for illegal tapes or even Matt Walsh, but for its impact on the legacy of a 3-time Super Bowl champion coach and how his team achieved greatness.
People have said you flat out cheated. What do you say to those people?
What I've said to you. I told you the truth.
Armin Katayan, CBS News, Foxborough, Massachusetts.
As of right now, Tom Brady's going to miss the first 4 games of the season. Jets wide receiver Eric Decker said earlier this week that he thought Brady's absence puts the division up for grabs. Well, guess what? It's been a while since a team other than the Patriots have won the AFCs. The Pats have won 7 straight years. They are tied with those good Rams teams of the 70s for the longest streak ever. And this is even more amazingly, the Patriots have won 12 out of the last 13 division titles. So that's been even longer. Which team is best positioned to challenge the Patriots right now?
Well, first off, nobody wins the division the first quarter of the season. So the first 4 games, if Brady is suspended, nobody's going to win a division that early. And it probably won't be the Jets because they don't really have a quarterback in place.
Well, they could.
They could, but not the one they want, or probably the guy that they had the production with last year. As of right now, we're talking right now, so I would have to go with the Bills. Rex Ryan has had the most success, I would think, against Bill Belichick in playing him and knowing his style not winning maybe a lot of games, but playing close games and being competitive within the division. He's been in the division forever. And then if you add Rob Ryan, who coached alongside Bill Belichick and coached with me, they understand some of the tendencies. Now, things always change with the Patriots from week to week. But I would say the nucleus of that team, getting better on offense. They got help on the defensive side, bringing in no players, drafted Reggie Ragland, a guy I think is going to help them tremendously. I think this team will improve. Rex just has to gather the troops back and get them under his wing.
And they got to get everybody healthy.
Yes.
Shaq Lawson
Yes.
is going to be out for a little while. And then, of course, Sammy Watkins could have missed some training camp time
Right.
with a broken foot. So injury is already an issue there in Buffalo. Thanks, Willie.
There's something happening here, but what it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there, telling me I got to beware. I think it's time we stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. There's battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds are getting so much resistance from behind. Time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What a field day for the heat. 1,000 people in the street, singing songs and carrying signs, mostly say hooray for our side. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Paranoia strikes deep into your life, it will creep. It starts when you're always afraid. Step out of line, the man come and take you away. We better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going. We better stop now. What's that sound? Everybody look